Spirituality is a fundamental part of a consecrated life. It includes common and individual prayer, singing, sacraments, retreats, spiritual reading, and direction. This is all a part of your inner spiritual life and identity. Living in God's presence is the foundation of your life as a religious sister. Your spiritual life is closely linked to what the Second Vatican Council calls a person's most secret core and sanctuary, where you are alone with God, whose voice echoes in your depths. When your spiritual life is well nourished and flourishing, your entire outer life will radiate this. You feel content, confident, balanced, and happy, which has a positive effect on your work and relationships. If, however, your spiritual life is poorly nourished, dehydrated, or constricted, it can reflect in feeling insecure, depressed, or scrupulous. This can also negatively affect your work and relationships. As a religious sister, you have a moral right to good and balanced spiritual nourishment that fits your personal needs and development. You also have a canonically established right to a degree of spiritual freedom, particularly regarding confession, your choice of spiritual director, and the protection of your spiritual intimacy. Let's explore these three more. As any other Catholic, you are of course canonically advised to confess grave sins once a year. If you have grave sins to confess, however, only you can know. When and to whom you confess them is entirely your free decision. Neither your novice mistress, nor your superior, nor a priest may give you instructions on this or dictate when and to whom you confess. You are also not obliged to give information about it to anybody. You have a right to choose your own spiritual director. He or she can be a member of your community or not, a priest, a religious, or a lay person. You may choose and change them as you think best. Your superiors may not make this choice for you, and certainly not against your will. Your superiors must not intrude into your spiritual life. It is even canonically forbidden for them to induce manifestation of conscience. It is also forbidden for spiritual directors and confessors to discuss your spiritual life and issues with anyone, including your superiors or fellow sisters. Additionally, if your superiors pressure you to reveal your inner spiritual life, or if they prescribe certain confessors or spiritual directors, you should be aware. If they demand and receive information from your confessor or spiritual director, or even if they present themselves as a spiritual director or confessor to you, this constitutes as spiritual abuse. It violates canon law and is a red flag. Decisions of the superiors must always and only concern the external life of the community, such as apostolates and distribution of tasks. In these things, compromises must be found, and occasionally decisions must be made against the will of individuals. However, when it comes to your inner life, that is what you think and feel, your experience while praying, and how you perceive God and His will in your heart, even your spiritual director cannot decide these things nor demand submission from you. It is because your superiors have external authority over you that canon law forbids them to have a say in your spiritual life, and instead demands a strict separation of external and internal spheres. There must occasionally be obedience in one, however, freedom must reign in the other. Without freedom, there is no spiritual life, and without a spiritual life, religious life is meaningless. Your community should be a place of spiritually nourished sisters with whom you can pray and be spiritually inspired, while still having your spiritual intimacy and personal choices respected.